with all due respect to the man's service and heroism in the past, that doesn't absolve you of making catastrophic mistakes in the future. And this interview Jim Mattis gave at The Atlantic is a disgrace. Here it is. Let me tell you what about it specifically is so deeply troubling. Jim Mattis wants to run for office, Jim. Go right ahead. The Atlantic, Jeffrey Goldberg, quote, James Mattis denounces President Trump, describes him as a threat to the Constitution. This is unbelievable. You doubt what I'm telling you about this small group of military people still working who are sitting there posturing on how to defy the president? They're being egged on by the Bushies and former Defense Department people and military folks on the outside who can't stand President Trump because he's a threat to every single thing the swamp represents. Let's go to Matt. This is Mattis from The Atlantic. This is unreal. Quote from Jim Mattis. I've watched the week's unfolding events angry and appalled, Mattis writes. The words equal justice under law are carved in the pediment of the U.S. Supreme Court. This is precisely what protesters are rightly demanding. It is a wholesome and unifying demand, one that all of us should be able to get behind. We must not be distracted by a small number of lawbreakers. Jim, what planet did you write this from? A small number of lawbreakers? And by the way, Jim, nobody's distracted. This show hasn't been distracted. This show has been focusing on and triaging the emergency issue of the day. We were all focused, by the way, on what happened to Mr. Floyd on this show. It's recorded, Jim. You can watch it on Fox and just about every other conservative channel, so disturbed by that video, until not a small number of rioters or terrorists from Antifa, but a rather large number of Antifa terrorists and rioters decided to try to attack and take down American cities while murdering police officers, burning cities down, attacking innocents, and stealing millions of dollars worth of things that don't belong to them. I'm sorry, Jim, did you miss all that? President Trump's the problem here? He's a threat to the Constitution. How is that exactly? By giving a speech telling the governors to control their states before they lose them? What exactly is tyrannical about that? Mattis, the scion of... No. He may have been a battlefield scion. I didn't work for Jim Mattis. I don't know him personally. Since he's left office, this is disgraceful conduct. A small number of looters. What planet is this guy living on? This is the talk of a politician, not a decorated Marine. Are you kidding me? Do you even turned on the television? You understand what's going on? All that tough guy talk. What did I tell you? Biggest tough guy. Biggest tough guys I know, the quiet ones. All that tough guy talk. Now with by a small number of looters. Don't get distracted by looters. As if it's our fault that we're focusing on, gosh, my house and business may burn down. You expect people to think about George Floyd as their pharmacies in Midtown Manhattan are burning to the ground and people steal the OxyContin? Oh, I got distracted for a minute. They burned down my store. Let me get back to George Floyd. This is the left's new, scion of goodwill. Let's go to number 2 from this disgraceful Mattis piece. An embarrassment that deserves to be called out. Mattis, quote, Donald Trump is the first president in my lifetime who does not try to unite the American people and doesn't even pretend to try. Instead, he tries to divide us. He's trying to... There has never been a Republican president, whether you like it or not, who has done more to deliberately make an outreach effort to communities that traditionally don't vote for the GOP. The Black community, the Hispanic community, the gay community, the LGBT community. Whether you agree with any of that or not, and you think the president should treat all people equal and forget putting people into pockets the left has created, whether you agree with that approach or not, Jim Mattis' suggestion that this president has attempted to divide us is so patently absurd, he should be embarrassed and resign from public life tomorrow. The president has done more events at the White House for the black community. He has given more speeches about historically low black unemployment rates before the Wuhan virus was unleashed upon us. He has done more. I don't even agree with criminal justice reform. I think it's a terrible idea. President Trump did that because people in the black community felt strongly about it. What the hell is Jim Mattis talking about? What planet is he living on right now? There has never been a Republican president who's done more. Ever. This is a disgrace, this op-ed, from a man the president trusted.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.